Hello, I'm Claire Robinson with Universal Avionics, and I am here as the chair of RTCA Special Committee 214. And I'm here with Stefan Pileski of Collins Aerospace and the chair of EUROK Working Group 92, and Dongsang Miter Corporation, who is the VDL subgroup secretary. We make up the VDL standards group that is a joint committee of 3 different groups: EUROK Working Group 92, RTCA SC 214, and then also the AWEC Data Link System Subcommittee. The Data Link System Subcommittee chair from FedEx, Secretary Jose Godoy from AWEC, could not join us today, but they are an important part of our group. We're slightly unusual in that we have three groups making our one VDL standards group, and we have shared deliverables that complement each other, and we are working to harmonize the VDL Mode 2 standards across all of the different specifications that are out there. I will hand it over to Stefan, who will talk a bit about VDL Mode 2.
Thank you, Claire. Hello, everyone. An important thing with VDL Mode 2 is that this is a backbone for communication for safety services in Europe, in US, and in many places in the world. So this is very critical for the air-ground communications. And the performance related to safety services that VDL Mode 2 can provide or has to provide has to be carefully monitored. What is very specific for our group in this case is that we are coordinating a lot with the different stakeholders in Europe, like the network manager, and with the FAA in the US, to monitor the operational feedback, identify if we have gaps in the standards to improve the standards and get more and more maturity. This is a challenging environment because any change we want to do on the VDL standards may have a big impact on what we have on field, the different radios, avionics and ground radios. And again, we have to always fulfill the performance requirements. So this is very critical, and that requires a lot of involvement of the different experts in this domain. And so this is why when we think about IPS, and we think about VDL Mode 2, sorry, we have to think about the future. So that being said, Dr. Zeng will present what are the different standards we are developing.
Okay, thank you, Stefan, for the introduction. As Stefan said, VDL Mode 2 is very important for the air-ground communication safety, efficiency, and security. So there are several key drivers for VDL Mode 2 standards update. The first one is the operational performance enhancement required by the existing data link operations like in Europe and in US. VDL Mode 2 performance is critical to today's air-ground operation. So that's the number one driver. And the second one is the IPS support. IPS is the emerging air-ground network technology. And VDL Mode 2 will support IPS. So that's the second driver. The third one is the subnetwork security, because currently air-ground data link doesn't have security, but in the future, VDL Mode 2 subnetwork will provide security to enhance the operational safety of data link. And the last one is the interference issue. Currently, we have the CSPs are experiencing interferences, from LED lights and USB fans. So all those interference issues, are impacting the current subnetwork performance. So we are working on the interference issues and identify the mitigation approaches. So with that, so the next standards revision will cover all those enhancements, and the impacted standards include AWC 631-9 standards, and also EUROK RTCA video mode 2 MASPs and MOPs. And after that, we will update the air-ground interoperability standards, which is DO 333 and ED 276. After all the EUROK RTCA AWC standards update, we will also update ICAO DOC 9776, which is video mode 2 tech manual. So the current schedule is all the RTCA EUROK AWC standards will be completed by the end of 2024, and then we will complete DOC 9776 update by mid-2025. So the ICAO applicability date is expected to be around year 2026. So that's the current target schedule. With that, I would like to hand it back to Claire to talk about the collaborations and also the standards enhancement.
Thanks, Dongsong. So I'm going to jump into discussing the RF interference issue that has become a widely known issue across the industry for, in particular, aircraft operating in VDL mode 2 at the gate when they're trying to send important messages prior to pushback. And at first, it appeared that the interference was coming from LED lights in the airport. And that was a known issue. And then I believe that was about 4 years ago that started getting discovered. And then as various the data link service providers and others have been collecting more data, we've discovered it's actually a much bigger problem than just LED lights. So Dongsong mentioned the USB fan, which is a recent one, discovered that it's just a small COTS fan that anyone could buy and bring to the airport, causing massive amounts of interference in our protected VDL mode 2 spectrum. So we are working to try to increase the robustness of our radios operating in VDL mode 2. So far, we have pursued and looked at numerous options that we've had to not progress with because they caused other issues in the VDL mode 2 network. As Stefan mentioned, the network is very important for ATN baseline 1 and baseline 2 operations in Europe, and the en route CPDLC in the domestic US airspace. So we're being very careful not to negatively impact existing operation as we try to improve robustness and the ability to exist in a noisy environment. So that is something that we are continuing to work on, and also at the same time continuing to try to find and identify, also remove these sources of interference in our spectrum. So that's one of the large efforts that we're pursuing. We've got data collection and test and simulations ongoing from service providers, manufacturers, Eurocontrol, and others. So it's a pretty massive operation that we're hoping will feed into our standards work, and we can improve our performance going. Then I believe Dongsong, you'll pick up and talk about another improvement we're looking at for the network.
Okay, yeah. So another VDL mode 2 performance improvement proposal is the Super VJS. which is proposed by CETA. So Super VGS will, make all the ground stations using the same address that, make aircraft think, all ground stations are the same. So the advantage of Super VGS is it reduces the handoff frequencies significantly. And another advantage is it takes advantage of downlink antenna gain, antenna diversity. So any ground station received the downlink message can forward the message to the final destination, which increase the the downlink success success rate. So Super VGS can improve the efficiency of video mode 2 subnetwork communication and reduce the latencies and also as well as success rate of downlink. So with that, CETA also validated the Super VGS concept, and also read the standards change proposal, which will be added to the air-ground interoperability standards later on. So overall, I think Super VGS will improve the video mode 2 subnetwork performance. With that, I would like to hand it over to Stefan to address IPS support.
Thank you, Dongsong. As you could see in the future connectivity white paper, video mode 2 will remain for decades, and the industry is moving to ATN IPS. So as part of the working group, we had to work on the support of IPS over VDL mode 2. And we did the following approach. We looked at the requirements to be subnetwork compliant to ATN IPS. And we started with a set of requirements to ensure the proper performance and the fact that we can meet what is expected for ATN IPS. And as Dongsong explained, notably regarding cybersecurity, because all the subnetworks for ATN IPS have to be secured. So we work on that, and with the group, we took the time to take these requirements. We made the comparison between a lot of different solutions to convey IPv6 traffic over VDL mode 2 via a secured tunnel. And we are now in the process of having a solution that we worked on. And for now, we are working on developing the standards. A first version of the standard, which will not be a final one, we want to work on a draft that will be used for validation activities, because the intent is not to say we have something fully defined and it works well. We need to validate it properly. So this validation exercise will be very important. So having first a baseline that all the different participants in the VDL environment will be able to apply in their validation exercise. And then based on the results, we will update the standard accordingly and release the standard with the support of IPS. But IPS is definitely an important topic for VDL mode 2. And this makes us understand that VDL mode 2 will be there for a long time, alongside with other communication links and future systems such as hyperconnected ATM, new generation of SATCOMs, and many others. But VDL mode 2 will be there for a long time, and we have to support it. That being said, I think it's a good time now to thank everyone for listening our presentation of the VDL activity, and for me to thank Claire and Dongsong as well for the participation to this webinar. Thank you very much.